You're about to watch the most beginner-friendly tutorial on Canva Code. We are going to be talking about Canva Code as a whole, how you can monetize and make money with it. And we are also going to be building something in this video on Canva Code. So get your notes, get your wine, and stay with me as we move on. Now, what is Canva Code? I want us to understand that Canva Code is an AI feature in Canva. It is one of Canva's new AI features. It was actually introduced last year, 2025, and they further improved it this year with their new AI features that they included and introduced it with Canva 2.0. So we need to understand that Canva Code is AI and everything we are working with is AI. Now, Canva Code is a tool built right into Canva that turns your words into a real working website or app. You describe what you want and it builds it for you with no coding or tech degree, just you typing what is in your head. We have to look at it this way. Look at it like your chat GPT, like your cloud, like your Gemini. That is exactly how Canva Code works. It works with prompting. You send what it is that you want and it gives you your result. Unlike chat GPT or cloud, this time around it is strictly building working website tools, mini apps. So whatever you send to it as a prompt, it brings your result as a build, as an interactive build. What you need to do, what you need to know and understand is that you need to understand prompting, how to actually talk to this AI to get what you want, just like every other AI tool out there. The more you understand how to go about it, the more it gives you what you are looking for. That is exactly how it works. So it is basically prompting and talking to it, and it gives you what it is that you want to create, just like every other AI. Who is Canva Code for? For creators, for designers, for brand owners, for business owners, for anybody with an idea. As long as you can describe it, Canva Code can build it. Now, why do we believe that it is for this particular set of people or anybody with an idea? Because these people need solutions. They need things that makes their work easier. For instance, business owners need websites. They need sales pages. They need landing pages. They need lead magnets. They need calculators. Creators need functional mini apps that they can sell to their clients that works for their clients when they are not there. Businesses need websites that tells people about their business, that introduces people to their business. They need functional website that works when they are not there, that can maximize their businesses, that can help increase their leads. This set of people need something that works. They need interactive websites like this, and all of this can be created in Canva Code. So either you are a creator, you're a designer, a brand or business owner, or you just have an idea on something to create, you can use Canva Code and Canva Code is for you. All you just need to do is get started and start to create what you want to build. Let's talk about why this is your opportunity if you are a designer or a creator or you just want to create an income out of Canva Code. You are new to it, you want to learn how you can maximize Canva and use Canva to make money. This is your opportunity because businesses need this and most of them have no idea how to build it themselves, and that is your opening. You can step in, build it for them, and get paid. You're not just going to be designing anymore, you are solving a real problem for a real business. Also, the gap is wide when it comes to people you can create for. We have clothing brands, we have real estate, we have hotel and hospitality, we have car dealerships. People that you can attend to are so many. We also have creators, we have coaches, digital marketers, and many more. You just need to find that gap and fill it and make sure that you are solving a real problem. When I talk about things like this, I'm always heavy on solving a problem because if it is not solving a problem for this particular set of people, they obviously don't need it. So you want to create things that works for them when they are not there, that can attend to their clients in their absence, that can help increase their revenue, that can help generate customers like leads, things that can reduce their workload. These are the type of things that we want to create. For instance, let's take a booking website for an hotel or a luxury apartment. You can create a website that has the pictures of this place where their customers are going to be or their clients are going to be. Instead of them manually sending images to their clients, create something that their client can always go to, that they can put as a link in their bio where nobody has to reach out to them until they want to make payment. Things that reduce their workload and make it easier. Things that helps them to close their sales and speaks for them. These are the type of things that you want to create. Things that are solely solution driven. Another example is a calculator embedded in a website. Now, for instance, let's take an hair salon for example. Let's use an hair salon where, we all know that when women want to make their hair, they have to meet their stylist for price of washing their hair, of braiding, and so on. You can create calculators that and embed it in the website. Even you can even create all of it in Canva Code where clients just go there, they input the service they need from hair washing, hair setting, braiding, even if they want to fix their lashes, fix their nails, they get to know the price of everything that they need. And their next step is just to go to the business's WhatsApp and ask for payment. You can automate all of these things using Canva Code. As I always say again, just make sure it is solution driven and it is helping the business in one way or the other, no matter how little it is. In this video, I am going to be telling us the three ways we can use to earn with Canva Code and create streams of income from it. The first one is one-off clients build. Build it once and charge per project. That's what we just talked about. Something like serving a particular business, helping them create, having a particular number of people you attend to, just like the way you charge for probably design services, charge once and pay per project. That's one way, one off bills, of sales page, of landing pages, of website quizzes, lead magnets, mini functional apps, whatever way it is. You create ones for each businesses and you get paid for what it is that you have created. The second way is to productize it, and this is my favorite. Yes. Package a winning build as a template, sell the same one to multiple businesses, and this is what we call digital product. Digital product is simply finding a particular niche or a particular audience that has a problem, solving this problem to them, solving the problem for them, and by creating your own solution. Now, this solution is your own build in this case. When you build it for them, you sell it to them multiple times. You sell it to this particular audience multiple times, meaning you can sell just one. All you just need to do is create it once, and you can sell to 10 people, sell to 100 people, sell to 1,000 people, as many as you want, as long as it is still serving them, you sell it to them. And one thing about digital products is that it is always for a very long period of time. In fact, it can even be a lifetime. So you can always sell to multiple people. You can sell in like 5 years, you can sell to 1 million people if possible. Depending on how you market it, you can sell to 1,000 people, you can sell to 100 people. That is how digital product works, and it is passive income, meaning you don't have to actively create again, unlike our first option, our one-off client build, where you have to create per project. You have to create and they pay you, create and they pay you. Here you just have to create it once and market it to the audience as many times as you like. That's digital products. You can even make money when you're sleeping. You can make money when you're not even doing anything. That is how digital products works. And the last option is retainer. Businesses that don't want to touch it themselves pay you monthly to maintain it and update it. Now, the good part about retainers in our context of in the Canva context is that many businesses use Canva because Canva is very good for marketing. It does a lot of things from creating visuals to helping with marketing flow to, yeah, so like many businesses use Canva and they are very, very familiar with Canva. But most of them might not even want to, they might not want to have to touch it, they might not want to have to do too much. So you be the one to make the updates, you be the one to add the changes they want, you be the one to be maintaining it every month, and each month you are doing this as a retainer, you get paid for it. Now again, in aspect of our number one of clients build, this is another reason why Canva is good for us, because these businesses are familiar with Canva. So when you create it for them and you share the file with them, they can take it from there because they are familiar with Canva. Like a lot of people who use Canva. So it's not too technical for them. They can pick it up from there. You can do a mini guide or like a mini tutorial telling them what to do and what not to do. Things they have to, you know, do from there after you create it. Now, that is why Canva is good. Now, for the retainer part, businesses that don't want to have to do it by themselves come to you. Every month, you can have from like 2 to 5, as many as you can maintain, and help them to make updates, change whatever it is that they want to change. So this is how retainer works. Now, when it comes to what to charge for Canva Code, I want us to know that pricing is very, very flexible. You can charge what you want. You can charge, and pricing depends on different factors, from your type of client to what you create for them to even the country the person is. Yes, these are some of the factors that determines pricing. So pricing is flexible, very much flexible. So here we have, for simple builds, you can charge as low as $50 to $100 for, let's say, lead pages and lead forms. Now this is for simple builds. Again, pricing is very flexible. You can go higher, you can decide to go higher, you can decide to go lower, you can be in the middle. This is just for the context of this video. Now, interactive builds that is a bit more developed than simple builds. You can charge from $100 to $200. We have 150K Nigerian naira here to 300K. Now, you can just use this pricing as a starting point, depending on what it is that you have created for them. And let's say you are able to do 3 builds in a month at the low end alone, which is you making up to like, let's say, $250 in extra income before productizing. Remember, I was heavy on productizing because I am a digital products person. I sell digital products as well. So I am very heavy on productizing too as a means of your income. So imagine you're able to do all three, from doing one-off bills to selling digital product, productizing it, and also being able to maintain a retainer. That is like a very good way of, like, this is different streams of income coming in for you just from Canva Code, just because you are able to use Canva Code. Yes. Let's talk about what Canva Code does really well, which is the capabilities. First off, it is free access, no plan required to get started, and an emphasis on getting started because using the free version is quite limited. The AI usage is limited, so but you can always start with the free version. You can go ahead to pay for Canva Pro, and if you are someone that likes to create a lot and you have a lot of people to work for, you can subscribe to Canva Business that has the highest Canva AI usage in a month, so you can work with that. But just know that you can start free in case you want to start testing, start trying to create something. You can start with the free version. Canva Code can visually edit what it builds, no starting over. So that means that, just like I mentioned, when you're using ChatGPT and it is a continuous conversation, just like that. You don't have to start all over when you start creating your builds. You continue from where you stop. You make your additions, subtractions, your corrections from where you stop. You just need to keep prompting for it to give you what you want. Also, it turns a prompt into a website, app, quiz, or form. We've talked about that. You just need to understand how to prompt it properly, understand the strategy to prompting it, and it gives you exactly what you want. Code can be copied and used outside Canva. So for something you want to develop further, maybe you want it to be more technical, you can always copy your code, take it outside, maybe to cloud or Lovable, wherever. You can always develop your code. You can copy it and use it outside of Canva. Also, Canva Code auto connects to Canva Sheet to collect data. Now, this is like a form of backend from where, for instance, businesses that wants to collect emails, that you can help them. When you create it, you connect Canva Sheets. Sometimes it just works. It just automatically connects to your Canva, whatever it is you're creating. It does by itself. So for every entry, the entry they input for the mail, the time, the details they need, depending on what they are using the mail for, it automatically goes to Canva Sheet, including their name, their date, the time they entered. All the details are going to be in Canva Sheet. So for every entry, they see it there automatically. Buttons and links can send people to checkout or bookings. This means that for when you create website, let's assume you're creating a website. Okay, let's use a sales page for instance. Your link can lead to a checkout. You can create a sales page. Every button can go outside of that website that you have created in Canva. It goes outside. It can go outside of Canva. So it can be payments, it can be linked to socials, it can be a link to booking, whatever it is, they can leave that. So like your CTAs are active, they are very, very active. All buttons can be very much active when you're creating Canva. And it is built in HTML and CSS, okay, and also JavaScript, which is the same code every website runs on. That is why it is fast and it doesn't need a dev team to host it. So like it works like every other website, like every other website. It is literally you creating a website in Canva and it works very well, just like every other one. Also, you can even import you can use domain name in Canva. If you have like a custom domain, you can use it, you can bring it in and use it to publish your website. It works properly just like that. Now, we also need to understand what it cannot do so that we are going to be able to work with it properly. No built-in user logins or accounts because there is no proper backend. Do we understand? Like there's no complex backend. Now, I want us to understand that these capabilities, what it cannot do is as we speak right now, because they are always developing this AI. So like in the next 6 months, for instance, what it can do now, it will be able to do better, and there will obviously be additions, upgrades that makes it work even more seamlessly and to be able to do things that it cannot do in this very moment. So this capabilities on what it cannot do is right now in this moment, no built-in user logins or account, no traditional server-side database. So you can only use Canva sheet to collect live data, like I've explained. It is not a replacement for a dev team building a large complex app. Now, for it, you cannot build complex apps inside. Like you cannot create a fintech app in Canva code, please. Yes, something like that. You can create complex, really complex builds. Even your app, you can create mini apps, yes, and they are going to be very functional, but they have these limitations. They can't log in. You can There's no backend and all of those. So we need to understand what it cannot do so that we can work with it better, like I said. So why that is not a deal breaker? Because most businesses don't need logins and a database. They need a landing page that works, a quiz, a form that captures leads, something fast and good looking that works. And that is exactly Canva Code's lane. Like I mentioned, businesses just need solutions. They don't even care where you built it. As long as it is functional and it works good for them, as long as it solves their problem, they are very good with it. So you don't need all of those complicated stats. You don't need anything too complex. You just need to understand how to use it to create solution driven working interactive websites. Simple. So quick thing before we go further, I'm about to show you the exact formula I use to get great results from Canva code. I'm going to be showing you exactly what I use, exactly the formula I use to do my prompting that gives me a very good result that works on the first try. But I also want you to walk away with something you can use today. So stick with me because I have a free prompt and a pitch script waiting for you. With this free prompt, you're going to be able to create a working website yourself, and you're also going to get a free pitch script to pitch to that particular business. So stick with me as we move on. My formula is specific buyer plus specific user plus specific style to give us our first pass. Specific buyer, again, specific buyer plus specific user plus specific style equals to first pass. And what do I mean by first pass? First pass means the first result we get when prompting. Like I said, like every other AI, when you prompt at first, you get your first result. You can always refine, correct, and addition, subtraction. So first pass is what we get first from our first ever prompt. Specific buyer plus specific user plus specific style to give us our first pass. In this formula, what do we mean by specific buyer? This is who this build is for. Who is this build for? You cannot just say, oh, it's for a business. It has to be concrete. It has to be specific. Is it a boutique skincare brand? Is it a female clothing brand? Is it a perfume store? Is it a luxury car dealership? You have to be precise. You cannot just say it is for a business, or it is for a coach, or it is for a creator. Who exactly? You have to water down what it is for to the very, very end for it to be understandable. Specificity here is what makes the first output usable, so that we don't get something generic. You have to specify, be exact, be precise. All the words, just make sure that you tell it exactly who it is that you are creating it for, which is basically the owner of the business. So, but you have to water it down and let it understand fully who it is for. Now, what do we mean by specific user? Who is actually going to use or see the result? Who is the customer? Who is the audience? Now, for instance, if it is a female clothing brand, who is the audience of this female clothing brand? We understand that it has to be a female, right? Like, what is their age group? Are they young? Are they Gen Zs? Are they millennial? So you have to specify the user as well. Water it down as much as possible, because this shapes the tone and visual direction differently than the buyer does. When we talk about specific style, let's think of it like the aesthetic, the mood, the visual direction of what we want this particular build to look like. This is what keeps the output from looking like default Canva code style. This is what keeps it away from looking generic. You have to specify, is it a playful brand? Is it a luxury brand? What vibe do you want it to give? What color palette? Give it a direction. Act like a director, giving it a direction on what you want the visual to look like. Tell it the font to use. This is how to get a proper first output that is not going to stress us too much. Why does this formula work? It is a usable first pass. It is a usable first pass that is not going to stress us. It is not going to give us a generic result. It is not going to let you start doing 5 rounds of regenerating before it becomes usable. So once you create it, it gives you a proper pass that you can just continue to refine and correct. And you can even show this first pass to your clients without going back and forth, without so much correction, without so much stress. If you follow this formula properly, it is definitely going to work for you. Now, before we get into Canva to create our first build, I'm going to be going into Canva now. I'll be showing us the 3 places to find Canva code right in Canva. And we are going to be creating something right in this video. So before we go into that, I want us to also understand that this build we're about to go to is just to show us how Canva code works. And I also have a separate build made specifically to pitch to a business, plus the exact script to sell it. I have it for you for free. So it's like a freebie you get of this video. Just make sure that you copy the link below. You're going to find the link right in this video down below. Copy it into your browser and it goes from there. Also, it is totally free. So let's get into it. Canva, and I'm about to show us the 3 places we can find and use Canva code from. So first off, you find it right here. Once you open your Canva, you find code here. Click on it, it takes you to your workspace. You can also find it right here with the other Canva AI design image doc code. Just click here and input your prompt. And the last place to find it is here where we have create. When you want to create your designs, you find Canva code right here. Now, these are the 3 places you can go through to get to Canva code. So if you're totally new to Canva code, welcome to Canva code, and this is what the Canva code workspace looks like. Here, this is the part you input your prompt and it gives you your result right here. In this space, you get to see whatever it is that you build here. As before, I bring in our prompt for what we want to create for the purpose of this video. So let's just use make a to-do list for and submit. Let's see what it gives us in as a result. We can see Canva code working on this particular prompt. I told us it's just like a chatbot where you text, just like ChatGPT or Cloud, you send your message, it works on it for you and gives you your result right here. So let us see what we are testing and let's see the result out of our random test. We have work, personal, shopping. You can add a task here, and this is a to-do list, and it also has Canva sheet connected so that every data goes to the Canva sheet directly. So this is just our random test. Now I am going to bring in our actual prompt and work on our live build like we talked about. Brought in our prompt and it is following the exact formula that I explained. We are going to be building a one-page mobile first booking website for a home-based hair braiding stylist called Ada Braids in Lagos. And this is the entire details the booking site is going to have. So let's start building our website for us. Don't forget to get the free guide, the prompt and the pitch script that I have created right below this video. Just copy it and it takes you directly to the page where you get your prompt and script together. Just to take note that when using Canva Code for your website, it is also fast. I think that's one thing I did not mention. It is very efficient and fast. It is something you can work on within 2 hours, depending on what you're creating. You can even work on it within 20 minutes. So that efficiency is what makes it good to work with because you get to create for as many people as you can in a very short period of time without even wasting too much time on just one particular build. Our first version, and this is what it looks like, version 1, as you can see. So as you add your corrections, additions, subtractions, it names the version of what it is. So you have a sequence of everything you have been creating so far right here. You're going to be able to see everything here. So you can always go back to each version to check what has changed and what to work on, what to improve. Or if you just want to like use a particular version instead of another, you can always go back to it and publish it. So you always see it here, right here in this chart. Now let's get to our build. This is what it looks like. So let us preview. Also, there is a Canva sheet automatically added to this work already. I mentioned that Canva Code AI is so smart that it automatically connects Canva sheets here to your work if it needs it, if it is necessary. So let's go to our preview. Now this is Adabraid's booking website. first This is the first pass. This is what we got from our very first prompt. Now we have adapt rates here. If you go to book now, it takes them directly to book their appointment right here. So let's scroll from up ourselves. Adapt rate, we have our image. And this was created by Canva Code by itself, this image. So here, since it's just a braid website, knotless braid, see the price, cornrows, kids braid. Now it also has a pricing calculator, a price calculator. I mentioned calculators too when I was explaining about Canva Code. Now let's act like a client and select a braid that we want to make. So let's go for boho braid. You can see the price change, right? Let's go for long, 27,000. Let's go for cornrows, medium, 11,000. By it working when the brand owner is not there. They don't have to actively talk to anybody. The client just comes to the website, they get to know the price, they do their calculation. Okay, I want to make knotless box braid. I want to make knotless box braid and I want it to be long. They get the price of they get their estimated price 22 and that's it. They can also book their appointment, put their name, their phone number. They get to put their phone number and they can also book with dates. Let's assume the client wants to make their hair on the 8th of August. They put it here. They set it. They select the braids they want to make and they submit their booking. Now, mind you, this is where they select the braid they want to make. You see, if I put cornrow is here. So this website created with Canva Code is super interactive and functional because functionality is what matters, and it is very functional. Now, if you put boho braids 27,000, it changes here too, so the client can easily submit their booking. Booking submitted will confirm shortly. Now, all of those details that we have entered automatically goes to Canva sheet. I'm going to show us the back end where it goes. Stylist gets to see it right there, just automatically. And also they can use WhatsApp. Once you embed the link here, it takes them outside to the directly to the WhatsApp of this particular breeder. That is how it works. Now this is what we have done. We have created something out of Canva code, and this is just from one prompt. Don't forget that it can be refined, it can be further worked on, it can be corrected. We can decide to add, remove, in time, maybe like change the pricing to USD, or add more braids, add more style, and it can be done and worked on. This is just our first build, and we can see that even our first build is so good that it can go like this. It works already, everything is intact, and that is it. Data to see if the appointment I booked is going to show there. So you click on data right here, and yeah, this is it. So this is the Canva sheet connected to that website. So for every client that books, their details comes here automatically. All of their details, the name, the phone number, the preferred data, the style, the air length, and the total price. Basically, all the things you ask them for in the website just comes here directly for the owner of that website to be able to keep track of. To the end of our video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also click the link below to go get your free prompt and script to get started with Canva Code. See you in our next video.